Hello friends, in this AV we would be talking about some of the important MCQs of class 9 ICSE physics. I've got a final exam paper with me of one of the reputed schools here. So we'll just try to solve some of the MCQs which have been asked in this question. So to begin with, the first question they've asked is, sonar makes the use of, and then they have given the option infrasonic sound, ultrasound, ordinary sound and light. Then if you are preparing well for your exam, you will remember that the range that we can hear is 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz or 20 kilohertz. The sound range above this is ultrasound and the sound range below 20 hertz is infrasound. So sonar, that is sound navigation and ranging, this makes use of the ultrasound. Now the second question that they have asked is, the pressure of a liquid at a given depth is. So this is asked based on the formula pressure is equal to rho g h, where rho is the density, g is the acceleration due to gravity and h is the height of the liquid column. So here they are all three directly proportional. So only one option is which says that it is directly proportional, and that is directly proportional to the density of the liquid. So this is the correct answer. Now the third question says, in a barber shop, two plane mirrors are placed. We have all visited the barber shop and we know that they are placed parallel to each other. Now the next question that they have asked is based on relative density. The question says, relative density of a substance is expressed by comparing the density of that substance with the density of. So this is a direct question based on the definition of relative density, and we know that it is a comparison between the density of that substance and the density of water. And the next question says, the time period of a simple pendulum is inversely proportional to. We know the formula for time period. Time period is equal to 2 pi root L upon G. So here they are talking about inversely proportional. So from the formula we can see that it is inversely proportional to the square root of acceleration due to gravity, and that option is option B. Now next question is based on linear momentum. It says the linear momentum of a body of mass m moving with a velocity v is. So the formula for linear momentum is equal to product of mass and velocity, and this has been given in option C. Now the next question says, the slope of velocity time sketch or VT graph gives the, we know that the slope of velocity time graph gives the acceleration. To be more thorough with this type of question, what you can do is, in your textbook you'll find that there is a conclusion part which will contain around 4 or 5 points. So you can just read that. So you'll be very thorough. What does the area enclosed by the graph tell us? What does the slope of various graphs tell us? And in the syllabus we just have distance or displacement time graph as well as the velocity time graph. Acceleration time graph is not in syllabus, so you don't have to worry, just 2 topics. So conclusion, there will be around 4 to 6 points. You can just go through that. The next question says, in a uniform magnetic field, the field lines are, we know that they are parallel lines and they are equidistant from each other. So that option is given here, but there is a confusion between B and C. If you don't read properly, you will overlook this word not. So both of them will seem to be very similar. So don't get confused. Option B is the correct answer. In uniform magnetic field, the field lines are parallel and equidistant straight line. The next question that they have asked is based on the SI unit. As I have told you in class, please go through and please learn all the SI units and CGS units. They are very important. So the SI unit of upthrust. Now here they have given 3. Pascal, it is the SI unit of pressure. Newton is for force or upthrust. and kg is for mass. So they have asked about the SI unit of upthrust. So we know that that is option B, that is Newton. Now sound in the air propagates in the form of, this is another question, direct question based on the characteristics of sound waves. So sound waves in the air, they propagate in the form of longitudinal waves. Now the next question they have asked is another simple question, that is the ultimate source of energy is. This question is from chapter 6, and we know that the ultimate source of the energy for this universe is nothing but sun. Now the next, moving on to the next question, it says the gravitational force between two bodies is. Please remember that the gravitational force between two bodies is always attractive. It can never be repulsive. So we have always attractive given in the option B of the question paper. Now the fundamental unit is, we know that there are two types of unit, fundamental unit and derived unit. Fundamental units are those units which do not depend on other units. So Newton, Pascal, Hertz, they are not fundamental units, but second is a fundamental unit, and that is the unit of time. Another question that they have asked is based on scalar and vector quantities. It says thrust is a scalar quantity, vector quantity, both or none. So if you remember the definition of thrust, it says that it is a force applied perpendicularly. So here we are talking about direction, so it is a vector quantity. Now the next question that they have asked is about the unit again, and it says the unit of current is. So unit of current is ampere, volt is for potential difference, ohm is for resistance, and coulomb is for charge. Please remember that, because based on the unit any topic can be asked, so it's better that we know the units thoroughly. Next question says the instrument which has the least count of 0.1 millimeter is. This is based on the least count. We have two instruments in our syllabus, that is in chapter 1, which is screw gauge and vernier caliper. So 0.1 millimeter is the least count of vernier caliper. Similarly, please remember the least count of screw gauge, that is 0.01 millimeter, because the question might be twisted or changed. Now the next question is a car starting from rest accelerates uniformly to acquire speed 20 km per hour in 30 minutes. The distance traveled by the car in this time interval will be, and you have been given 4 options. Now there are 2 ways of solving this question. One is you just take a random guess. In my cases the guess doesn't work. I have not been so lucky. Your case you see for yourself. If not, then you better solve it. The things given here is u is 0 because the car is starting from rest. Then final velocity, it is achieving the speed of 20 km per hour, and the time given is 30 minutes or 1/2 hours. So we have to find out the distance traveled. So we know that S is equal to ut plus half at square. Now to use this formula I need to know acceleration, which has not been given to me, so I'll use another formula, v equal to u plus at. So v is 20, u is 0, a we have to find out, and time is 2, 1/2. So simply it will be acceleration is equal to 40. Now using this, in this formula S is equal to ut thing, we can find out. So S is equal to ut plus half at square. This whole portion will be 0 because u is 0. So we have half, acceleration is 40 into time square. So time is 1/2, square will be 1/4. So 2, 20, 2, 10, 2, 5. So that is 5 kilometer. So here we find that this has been provided in option B. Then moving on to the next question, it says the image formed by a plane mirror is, we know that plane mirror forms a virtual image, and there is another phenomenon attached with the image, and that is of lateral inversion. Lateral inversion means the left appears to be right and the right appears to be left in the image. So first option is real, then virtual with lateral inversion. So since we know that this is the right answer, virtual with lateral inversion, so we will not check the fourth option. The fourth option as it is says real with lateral inversion, which is not correct. Then the next question says electromagnets are made up of. So here we know that the core is made up of soft iron. So we can simply find the option C to be the correct answer, that electromagnets are made up of soft iron. Now the next question says the unit of retardation is. We know that the retardation is nothing but deceleration or negative acceleration. So it will have the same unit as acceleration, that is meter per second square. Now a real and enlarged image can be obtained by using and the options. So this question is another direct question which is based on the characteristics of images formed by plane mirror, concave mirror and convex mirror. If you have read that, you know that the real image and enlarged image will be always formed by a concave mirror. The next question is another question based on the SI unit. Here they have asked about the SI unit of pressure. So we have discussed in the previous question, which was based on SI unit. Pressure is the unit for pressure is, SI unit for pressure is Pascal. So we find it to be in option B. So we have just ticked it. Now moving on to the next question, it says renewable source of energy is. Looking at the options, coal is a non-renewable source, fossil fuels are non-renewable, natural gas is a non-renewable sources. Non-renewable sources are those sources which take over millions and millions of years to be formed. So sun is the right answer, which is the renewable source and is the ultimate source of energy for the entire universe. The next question says the seat belts are provided in the car so that if the car stops suddenly due to an emergency braking, the person sitting on the front seats are not thrown forward violently and saved from getting injured. Can you guess the law due to which person falls in forward direction in or on the sudden stopping of the car? If you remember, you must have done Newton's laws of motion while doing. We had discussed this example, but we had discussed it in terms of a person standing in a bus and the bus suddenly starts. That is law of inertia of rest and inertia of motion, which both of which fall under Newton's first law of motion, that a body at rest remains at rest and a body in motion will continue to move along a straight line until and unless acted upon by a external force. So here Newton's first law of motion is the correct answer. I'm not going into the other options. Next question says two like magnetic poles. So like magnetic poles, the option is repel each other, attract each other. First attract and then repel, which cannot be. So we know that like magnetic poles will repel each other. The next question is based on conductor and insulator. It says the insulator of electricity is. Now looking at the options, copper is a conductor, acidulated water is also a conductor. Had it been a plain water, then it would have been insulator, but here they are talking about acidulated water, so which is a conductor. Human body is a conductor. Silk happens to be an insulator. The next question says a body of weight W is floating in liquid. Its apparent weight will be. Now in this case, you can revise chapter 4 and you'll find that in these cases the apparent weight means the weight that seems to be, which is not true but it seems to be, it will be 0. The object experiences weightlessness. Moving on to the next MCQ, it says the global warming has resulted in. Because of the global warming, if you have read this topic properly, out of all the options that they have given here, global warming is not good for us. So this has resulted in the, so to say, the increase in sea levels, which is given here as option D. Now the next question says a man can hear the sound frequency of this. We know that the hearing range of sound frequency is 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. Some books they write this as 20 kilohertz. So 1 hertz is not falling in this range, 1000 hertz is falling in this range, 200 kilohertz will be above this, 5 megahertz will also be above this. So option B is the correct answer. Next question says, that is the last question, last MCQ question. The conductor of electricity is, here the very first option is human body, which we know that is a conductor. So that is the right answer. That's all in this AV. Thank you so much. God bless.